Hello! Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to shade with a sphere. So you're going to start by taking a circle if you want to, or you can just freehand it. You don't have to trace. Okay? And then you're going to pick a hue. So remember, a hue is one of the colors of the rainbow. So we have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, or violet. I'm going to choose orange. Okay, so when I'm adding color to my sphere, I need to keep in mind that there is going to be a section of my sphere that is light and a section of my sphere that is dark. So to figure out where the lightness on my sphere is, I need to figure out where the light is coming from. So I'm going to pick a spot. I'm going to have my light coming from here. So there's light shining on to my sphere from this direction. So that means I can take my pencil and automatically draw an oval on my sphere because this is going to be the lightest area. I can erase this oval later because it's in pencil, but it helps me figure out where I'm not going to color at all because the light is shining so bright on this spot that it's gonna be white. Now I know that the darkest area of my sphere is going to be right here because it's on the opposite side of the light. So that means the light is shining here and this part of the sphere is blocked by the light. So there's no light shining on this part. So I'm gonna make sure it's nice and dark. And I'm just using the hue that I picked to color in. Using a colored pencil. If you have a colored pencil or a crayon or even just a regular pencil, you can follow these directions better. If you have a marker, you can do the same thing, but as we start to get lighter on our orange or whatever color you are using, what you're going to do is you're going to have to lift your marker off of the paper and barely touch the marker on the paper, especially when you get closer to this oval. Notice how I'm curving my line as I'm getting lighter. I saw some people just going dark like this and just making it lighter all the way to the top, but that would mean that the light was coming from this direction. The light is coming from here, so we need to make sure that we are making our color lighter in this direction around the white oval. Values of orange in these squares just to help me make sure I'm having different varieties of this color on my sphere. If I only have a 3 and a 5, for instance, like once I add the black, it's not going to look like a realistic sphere because you need to have the gradual colors represented on your sphere. So I'm going to start adding a 4 to this area right here. Remember that when I add black to a sphere, I am shading it. Or when I add it to a color, I'm sorry. When I add black to a color, I'm shading it. So I'm making sure I have that black. You can tell that these two colors are really different from each other. One's super light and one's getting darker. So I need a more medium color to blend those two together. You don't want on your sphere to have it look so different and you can tell the difference between the areas. So you want them to blend into each other so that you can see that it's gradually getting darker or gradually getting lighter. Okay, now I'm going to add a 5 to the very edge of my sphere right here because like we said, this is where the light is not shining. It's the opposite side of making sure that it is dark. And it's okay if you see a little black at this part because this is the shadow of the sphere. So then I'm just going to go back over that layer with orange. And blend it into the 4 that I just did. So now you can see a little bit of the difference between the 5 and the 4. The 5 is really dark, the 4 is getting lighter, it still has black. Then you see the 3 right here. And then you see the 3 turning into a 2 right here, where it's barely orange. It's very light. Last thing I'm going to do is erase the line that I put for my highlight so that it just looks white. And there you have a shaded sphere.